questions?
Yeah. So Bob, just nice to send your seniors out with some emotion. It had to feel good for them.
Well, we had practice. I lose track of days, but we had a really good, really spirited practice. Talked to everybody about how it's a sad day when it's over. And we talked about that and talked about how close we've been and just haven't finished. And that was their message to each other in the huddle, is we're going to finish this one.
What was the key in the final 6 minutes? I think you outscored them 17-5.
Well, I thought defensively we were good. I know we haven't done a great job of staying in front of people all year, and that was very much of what we talked about and drilled in practice leading up to this. They're they pass, they cut, they drive, and we had to do a great job of staying in front of them. I thought our guys did. I thought they did a really good job, and Paulie just gets better with every game, and Gabe was good. So, I think we had some guys step up and respond.
What was the difference in the rebounding, in the sense that at TCU it was a pretty sizable advantage for them, and then tonight I think it was pretty even, and you guys had a pretty good advantage in the first half of the boards. What was the difference? We
were horrible in Fort Worth. We just we were in that period where we had, we maybe could have, should have beaten Baylor. We were so close to winning big games, and then we didn't win them at the end, and for seemingly every reason there is. Somebody fouled out, Taz gets knocked out, just one thing after another. And they brought up that we need to hang together here and finish the game. Sean makes free throws down the stretch for us. I mean, he didn't have a particularly good game for him, but he gets double figures, and I don't know about you guys, but he's who I want at the line whenever we need to make free throws.
Well, that rebounding, you played a couple bigs together at times. Is that part of the strategy going in to help your rebounding, help your defense?
Well, it's hard. It's I said to Tony and Jay, JB can play so many different positions. He can play 2, he can play 3, he can play 4. And he's really, I think, his best position probably as a 3-man, because he gives you a 3-man who can rebound it, who can handle the ball, who can make shots. And we had to play him at 4 just for matchup purposes today, and he did a great job there. I kept balls alive, rebounded at the defensive end, did a terrific job today, and he does it gladly. He's not a guy who's gonna, well, hey man, I'm a 2 or I'm a 3. He's a basketball player, and I appreciate that. I think more than anything is that this guy just wants to play and wants to win.
Coach, was Isaiah banged up in the second half?
No, not really. They went small. And it's hard to have a 6'11" out there chasing guys around on the perimeter.
Talk a little bit about the role of emotion in a game of basketball and players, and what having Gabe and Paulie on the floor.
Well, they play with a lot of emotion, but Bob, I think the fans today. I don't know what it said it was, but we had over 11,000 again. We've had over 11,000 every game, and when they get into the game and they start to yell and scream and cheer, the decibel level is is fantastic for our guys, and in terms of, I think, keeping our guys emotionally charged. When you hear that and you see them standing, and I can't say enough about them. I mean, because we've screwed enough things up during the course of the year that they could have given up on us, but they never have.
Which comes first, though, the players getting the fans into the game? You almost have
Well,
to
I think the
get
fans
that
came.
first.
Fans came in the first. I mean, without ever seeing us play, they were in the first game. But, well, I guess Pitt. You know, we're sold out for the Pitt game, and then we never drop below 11,000 the rest of the year. And I mean, and you've been around here, and most of you guys have been around here. I've been around here. That just doesn't happen here a whole lot. And to have the kind of year that we had, an up and down year, the way we've been up and down, and for them to continue to believe and continue to come to games, because, you know, it's not easy. It's not easy. I pulled into before the game today, and a guy and a lady came over and said, you know, Coach, this is our fourth game. You know, we got to come from 300 miles to be able to come to a game, and we've come to 4 games. I mean, who does that? You know, I mean, what other school has people that are that dedicated and that committed to a state university that way?
Anything else for Coach?
What can you say about Taz on senior night? Obviously had a good game, but just his contribution.
At halftime, he just said, "Hey, we're going to go win. You know, we're not going to let this happen to us again. We're going to go win." I think the biggest thing, I mean, obviously he can score the ball, but the respect that his teammates have for him, and justifiably so. He makes big plays for us.
Bob, what's his confidence do for you guys going into the tournament?
I don't know. I mean, you know, what were we, 12-1, and it didn't seem to help us much. So we just got to play. We just got to make up our minds that we're going to come in and play. We're going to come in and compete. We know we've played everybody in the league. We know we can win. You know, it's a matter of we almost did it today. You can't throw the ball to the other team. You can't consistently. We had 5 turnovers the first half, and then we had, I think, 6 with a bunch of time to go. And, you know, that's what we talked about in the huddle. Let's don't do this again. Don't give it to them. Make them, if they're going to beat us, make them beat us. And you look at what we've done through the course of the year. We haven't gotten beat that much as we've just given games to them. We've thrown the ball to them for layups. We've made terrible decisions. Today, you know, we started on that path, and you know, we had a timeout and had a talk about it. It's like, man, let's don't give another one away. Make them win it. If we're going to lose, make them win it. Don't give it to them like we've been giving games away.
Coach, sort of along those lines, the steal by Keedy, I think it was by about minute 20 or whatever. You got a 2-point lead at that point. He kind of sneaks in at the foul line and intercepts that pass. How big of a play is that? I mean, that gets you guys to the free throw line.
Well, Justin, I think to a large degree, the stretch that we went through where we threw the ball around and we didn't win games, Keedy wasn't playing, and some of them he tried, and then he'd go in and he'd get bumped, and I mean, he's playing hurt. He's been playing hurt all year. He played hurt, if you remember. He played hurt the UAB game. Had a really bad sprained wrist, but he played through it, and you know, he's a great competitor.
How do you explain the difference in your foul shooting in and out of conference play?
That's all coaching. We spend time, but that facility has a lot to do with it. you know, because they can go in there anytime, day or night, and shoot free throws. And I think a lot can be said for our managerial staff, that a lot of those guys came out before the game. They're fantastic. I've never been in a place that had managers like we've had over the years. It's incredible. And I think the wonderful thing about it is they've gone from here to, I mean, we've got guys in the NBA office, we've got guys in the office of professional basketball teams, we've got guys who, some of them have gone on to be assistant coaches. They're spread throughout the Midwest and with jobs in basketball. So, I mean, it's been good for them, but I'm telling you, they earn it. They work really hard, and there's never a time that those guys go in the gym, there's not somebody there to rebound for them.
Talked about the last few games, teams have obviously put up good shooting percentages. Tonight, that doesn't happen, and they did, you know, they scored some in the paint, but it wasn't, you know, a constant, you know, drive to the bucket and backdoor cuts and that kind. I mean, you know, they earned what they got. Why does that happen tonight? And, you know,
What's the simple solution? The simple solution is you stay in front of your man. We were constantly on the side, constantly. And so they ride you where they want to ride you to. And they did. And, you know, I think with a lot of film watching, with a lot of trying to explain, I think we have gotten better. At least we were better tonight. Hopefully that continues, to stand in front of our man. I mean, you watched the Oklahoma game. I know for sure. Guy drove from the half court line 3 straight times for a layup. You're not going to win when that happens. And we talked about that. We looked at it. And it's not all that difficult, really. It's easier just to get on the side of them. But the results aren't the same.
Are you going to let them run film sessions the rest of the year? Take them on?
It was a little more than a film session, Mike. Actually, it wasn't a film session. It was you guys figure it out.
Coach Huggins, thank you.
Yes, sir.